When we asked Pete Buttigieg, who Chris just mentioned is going to be our first guest, he's coming up shortly, but when we asked him to come on our first show just a couple weeks ago, I kind of thought we'd mainly talk about politics, and we definitely will. We will talk a lot about politics. He's got a lot to say about it.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Life comes at you fast. One moment you are leading the Never Trump movement on America's most trusted news source, CNN. And the next moment, you are being handed a box and told to pack your shit and get out. Jim Acosta, fired from CNN just 2 weeks after President Trump was sworn into office. Many say that this had something to do with Donald Trump making a few phone calls over there to CNN. Don Lemon also fired. Two vicious Trump haters gone, along with Joy Reid. She was clearly the most low IQ of all of the liberal pundits fired. Now she's ready to burn the house down by MSNBC as her show was abruptly canceled. None of these people understand how the economy works. You know, people have to watch your show for the network to make money. Somebody has to assume that you're going to tell them the truth, and people are just done being lied to. They're sick of it. There's only so much lying that can happen before people just blank and tune out. One of the major defenders of Joy Reid was the queen herself of MSNBC, Rachel Maddow.
I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible.
So here's a question I have for Rachel Maddow, who most likely believes in reparations. Why don't you give your show to Joy Reid? You know, you're a white person, and since white people are evil and there's too many of them on MSNBC, why are you still on MSNBC? Give your show to a black person. Doesn't have to be Joy Reid. Can be a bum on the street. Doesn't matter. Give your show to a black person. Nothing? No? Rachel Maddow? Still happy to collect her check, although it's a much smaller check. Rachel Maddow had to take a multi-million-dollar pay cut because, well, her ratings have plummeted 43% since Trump's election day victory. People are sick of being lied to. They're tired of it. Remember, Rachel Maddow did like an entire series about Trump's tax returns. She got them, right? They're done. They're done with the fraud. The fraudulence of people like Rachel Maddow. MSNBC star Rachel Maddow has been tuned out. Nearly half her audience has fled. Her show lost 43% of its total audience, averaging 1.4 million total viewers since Trump's win. You know, our channel does sometimes that in an hour, you know, like across like the content of the channel. We have many videos that have millions of views, so we're doing better than Rachel Maddow. She's the queen of left-wing media. The astounding decline comes when comparing the average audience of the Rachel Maddow show to the audience since November 6th. Maddow famously cut the Rachel Maddow show to once a week in 2022 to pursue other projects despite an enormous salary. It's like $30 million. She's had to take a pay cut. And guess who replaced her? Oh, yeah.
Big issue of misinformation, specifically on the pandemic. In terms of actions, Alex, that we have taken, or we're working to take, I should say, from the federal government, we've increased disinformation research and tracking within the Surgeon General's office. We're flagging problematic posts for Facebook.
I just had to play that. Just jump right into it. Let's raw dog this, okay? Jen Psaki, in what should have been the end of her career, is saying that the White House is flagging problematic posts for Facebook. Do you understand, like, what collectivism, Marxism does to your brain, how it scrambles it? How Jen Psaki believed that it was her job, from her position inside of the White House, to go on social media and say that our memes offended her at the White House. That everybody needs to stop what they're doing and tune into her. She took a job, by the way, at MSNBC. She took Rachel Maddow's job at MSNBC. while she was still working at the White House, while she was doing this job, while she was declaring what was truth and what wasn't for social media networks, flagging problematic posts for Facebook. These people should be charged on First Amendment grounds for constitutional violations. I'll wait for that to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, they're already being found guilty by the audiences of being a complete disaster. MSNBC host Jen Psaki suffers humiliating blow after taking primetime show from Rachel Maddow. Jen Psaki took over the coveted 9 p.m. Tuesday to Friday slot on MSNBC, but just 2 nights into her broadcast, viewership has crumbled. It's a brand new show here. Did I mention that Jen Psaki took this job while she was still working at the White House? So she was being paid by NBC while she was a literal mouthpiece for Joe Biden? You understand how incestuous the corporate media Democrat Party relationship is now? Okay. Psaki, a former White House press secretary, replaced Maddow with a new show titled The Briefing. But her sudden ratings collapse appears to be one of the most humiliating flops in recent cable news memory. After building momentum with her Sunday show inside Jen Psaki, nobody's asked about that, was elevated by MSNBC president Rebecca Cutler as the face of the network's new era. Maddow had taken up to 5 nights a week schedule to cover Donald Trump's first 100 days. She will now return to her weekly Monday one-night show. The change has seen an opportunity to hand the reins to Psaki, a DC insider with access and experience. But instead of holding steady, Psaki's first full week, it was in ratings freefall. According to Nielsen data, The Briefing launched on Tuesday with a respectable 1.2 million viewers and 139,000 in the critical demographic, the 25 to 54 age range. But by Wednesday night, Psaki's audience had cratered to 1 million viewers. Her key demo numbers had plunged to a startling 65. Nobody wants to see the degenerate fake redhead who lied professionally for Joe Biden and talked about how great Joe Biden was and how smart he was. Among younger viewers, aged 18 to 49, the drop was even steeper, a brutal 67% collapse. The Briefing was trounced not just by its competitors at Fox News and CNN, but by 38 other cable news programs across networks. Including our show. Psaki's show also outperformed in the demographic return was outperformed by reruns of Seinfeld and Friends and Bob's Burgers and King of Queens and Paw Patrol. Among MSNBC's own programming, the ratings provided difficult viewing. From 8 to 11 p.m. Wednesday marked MSNBC's lowest rated night since January 8th, before Trump was sworn in. Psaki delivered the lowest rated MSNBC slot during that hour. Psaki knew she had a difficult task, filling Rachel Maddow's shoes, but she bombed. There's Paw Patrol. Psaki bombs MSNBC. That's a good headline. Newest primetime program sheds 53% of viewers in key demo in second episode. She's getting just completely destroyed. Who wouldn't want to get their news from the lady that told you that Joe Biden should run for another term, right? That he's good, right? He's good. Biden former spokesperson Jen Psaki slams Kamala Harris for campaigning with Liz Cheney. Oh, wow. So brave, so stunning, right? That's right. Oh, and her guests are Don Lemon. It's just perfect. It's perfect, right? Here are some of the things that you're missing, and you and the entire rest of the world, because nobody's watching Jen Psaki's show. Don Lemon and Jen Psaki talking about why Kamala Harris lost the election. MSNBC's Jen Psaki visibly upset as Don Lemon revealed to her that most of the voters he spoke with don't even know who Kamala Harris is. And blacks are flocking to Trump.
Was there anything, what did they think about Harris? Did they have anything to say about her?
They did have, listen, it depends on where you are. We went to a number of different battleground states in Pennsylvania, Ohio, we were in Michigan, Indiana, on our way, obviously, Illinois, on our way to Chicago. And it sort of depended on where you were. Pennsylvania, well, I shouldn't say Pennsylvania, I should say Philadelphia, was a bit more liberal, and the answers to the questions about her and him were quite different. But for the most part, in Pittsburgh or at the Jersey Shore and in Atlantic City, in Ohio especially, many people did not know who she was. Right? They weren't familiar with her. So I think she has to reintroduce herself to the public. But for him, I think that they thought that he's better for the economy. And that, again, that he gave them, that he brought money into the community, or that he was on black people's side.